Hey everyone, Shiba here back with another video. In this video I'm going to be going over how to get the Ray Gun Mark II for free, the whole build guide, and including all the upgrades for the new map, Shattered Veil and Black Ops 6 Zombies. Before I start this tutorial, I do want to say it does not matter what order you do the upgrades in per se. It can be any order, same with the canisters. Every canister works with every upgrade. It does not matter in the order you do that. Alrighty, starting off with how to get the free ray gun. How you do this is by round 10. You can't do it earlier, it's round 10. You're gonna find a lab technician zombie in the area where Sam is. Kill him, he will drop a drive, like a flash drive for a computer. Note that he can just randomly die from like a nuke going off or whatever, so if you don't see him spawning past round 10, you might want to go look around the room for the drive. Once you get that drive, you want to head over to where stamina up is, and across the room from stamina up, there's going to be a computer. You want to hold interact on it, then a sequence is going to start where a bunch of vermin will spawn, but once you kill all of them, the fax machine right next to it will have a little paper. Interact with it. It's going to display like some text, and then there will be one 4-letter word, all in capitalized, usually Yeti, moth, worm I've seen, but just take note of that word right now. Once you have that word, go to the nursery. There's going to be a little board that has like a bunch of like letters in certain like groups, like whether it's like 5 letters in a group, 6 letters in a group, 8 letters in a group, and like 3 letters in a group. Alrighty, once you have gotten to the board, you want to take a mental note, remember your word. I'm going to be using Yeti as this instance for how to exactly do this puzzle. You're going to find the first letter of your word, so in this instance, Y on the board, and it's going to be in a group of letters, right? However many letters in total in that group is going to be your first number. So if there's like a group of 5, then it's just going to be your thing's going to be, the number's going to be 5. And then you're going to keep doing that for every letter of the word until you got like a sequence like 5, 6, 7, 4, or whatever. That is a code. You got a 4-digit code. You're going to remember that 4-digit code, and you're going to go down to where Sam is and past. There's going to be like a room, like the tunnel, where there's a doppelgas locked in, and there's a keypad next to the cell he's in. So you want to interact with that and then put in your code. The door should open, a bunch of smoke grenades will pop, and then some toxic zombies will come out, and the doppelgas will be free killing. Once you kill the doppelgast, he's going to drop a severed arm. You want to take that arm into the armory, and on the wall in the back, there's the Ray Gun Mark II in all its glory. You want to interact, it will scan it, and then it opens up for you to take. Alrighty, with that, we could start upgrading the steps, like to get all the canisters. You can do this before the ray gun, but one of the canisters you're going to need the ray gun for it. Alright, starting with the MKR upgrade, I usually start by getting the canister that involves throwing tomahawks at the pipes. So you're going to want to go into the room where Sam is, and right next to like the little crafting bench area, I believe, there's like a thing that has like the canister in it. And you're going to look to the left of it. There should be a letter, whether it's A or B. You want to take a mental note of that. Then you want to go over to the tunnel left to where you open the doppelgas chamber, and there's going to be a bunch of pipes. Like the one on the far left is like leaking out, and then the other ones aren't. So you want to throw a tomahawk at the next valve to get it leaking, and then you want to throw another tomahawk at whatever letter you had on the board. Like there's a letter that says A and then B. So if you had B, you want to throw it at the B valve. That way that it releases gas into the little chamber in Sam's room. Once you have done this, Sam is going to make a little audio cue saying that the chamber is filled with gas and it needs to be exterminated. Then you want to go over to it and throw some sort of explosive at it. Doesn't matter. Once it does, the canister will pop out for you to take. Alrighty, once you have done that, now we can get on to actually progressing the upgrade. Once we have the canister, now there's going to be a total of 4 plants around the map in outside areas that are like orange. You got to throw explosives at them, then they'll make a noise, and then a plant seed will pop out of them. I don't exactly know all the spawn locations off the top of my head, but typically I've found one like 2 near spawn, like spawn, and then like 1 on the left or right by the conservatory or whatever, just in spawn, and then like genuinely 2 in the mansion area on the balconies and shit. So typically they're just in areas where grass are. 4, you want to go to the conservatory, and there's going to be a little machine where you could put your empty canister, and then it'll start your sequence to where you go over to these planters and you plop your seeds in, and it'll start a thing where a bunch of zombies are going to spawn to try to attack it, and you got to defend it. Step, I would recommend you have the explosive GS45s. Those are really good, any explosive to defend the zombies. Once enough time has passed, the seed will grow full, and then you can start on the next one. Continue it till all 4 seeds are all grown, and then they'll all disappear, and then your canister will be glowing into like a toxic canister, and now you can take it. Now we can work on getting P upgrade now. To start with getting the canister, I typically use the Casimir method for second, and then I do the ray gun rock one last. So you need a Casimir grenade. There's one in the tunnel. There's like a dead soldier that has one. You are then gonna go behind double tap and throw your Casimir down in front of the zombie window, and the canister should just float towards the Casimir, and then once the Casimir is done sucking the things up, it's gonna drop the canister. Alrighty, now that we have that canister, we can now start on the P upgrade. So you want to start by shooting any of these white boxes around the map. They drop essence and stuff, but one of them can drop what is a essence bomb. Now we need that for later. And while you're doing that, you want to go around looking for 2 reflectors. The locations are in the conservatory on the fountain, there's one, and then in the southwest balcony, there's another fountain where the other reflector is. All the items, you want to go into the tunnel. There'll be like a bunch of rubble, and you could place your essence bomb on it, and it'll make a explosion and reveal a tunnel to where you can go. And there will be like another machine like before where you could put your canister in, and then it's going to start shining a laser from a crystal that you need to reflect into each of the doppelgas statues one at a time to make them like come alive, and then kill them and collect their soul into the canister. Take your reflectors down, and there's going to be one to the left where you just came in, and you're going to place it down, and then there's going to be one far back on the rocks, another podium to put it down. Once you have them all reflected onto the first statue, you want to melee the center crystal, and it's going to do a shockwave that sends it to the doppelgast, and then it makes it come alive, and you kill it. And now you got to get the lasers to go to the other statue. You do that by hitting the first one, and then you want to take that second one you put down, and there's like a little tunnel that goes up top, and there's another podium. Then you want to put it up there, and then it should direct it all the way to the second statue. You know, hit the crystal, and then makes it alive, and then you kill the doppelgast again. This third statue is a named doppelgast, so it's a little harder to kill, but once you do, you can now collect your canister that is now a light canister, and then you want to go put that in the director's office crafting bench. Start on the Wraithfire upgrade. Now what you want to do to get the canisters, there's going to be several blue rocks around the map, and you want to shoot them with the Mark II. And they will drop a certain amount of things, essence and whatnot, items, but what we're looking for is an empty canister, so you want to keep shooting them until they drop one. There's one rock in the conservatory, one on the left side of the mansion, you can see it when you're going to the entrance. There's one in the east foyer, and then there's one in the tunnel. Once you have the canister, that's your canister. Now we can start getting the upgrade ready. Over to where Speed Cola is on the map, and there will be another machine where you could put your canister, and then it's going to start a sequence where a couple of abominations are going to spawn. But don't kill them, you need them for this step actually. They are going to shoot their lasers like usual, but you want to like make the lasers hit these 3 small rocks around the area. And then once they have hit them, you need them to charge into each rock so that they float up in the air. Once you have done that, it's going to start another defense sequence, and the abominations are going to disappear, but a fuck ton of vermin are going to spawn. You need to defend the portal from the vermin so that enough time has passed so the portal goes to 100%, and then you can get your canister. What I would recommend to do this with is like the explosive GSs, like I said before. They're really good at killing them. A mutant injection works really good, but just so you could clear all the vermin out, and then you'll go up and collect your canister. That is now an explosive canister, and now you will go take it into the tunnel by the armory, where you can now put that on there. Congratulations! We're done with the whole ray gun tutorial. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe, it'd be great. And this is me, Shybut. I'm out. Peace.